as content creator, Anton Daniels, letting men know, not just black men, but men in general know, get your passports.
Fellas, I've never said this before. I've never advocated for this before. I'm gonna let Quentin and How To Man have it after this.
This is crazy.
I have never ever said this that I'm about to say right now, and I didn't think that I would ever come to this point. It's time to get y'all passports.
Oh my God.
No, seriously.
Passport bro, because
listen, fellas, look at him.
Don't want to agree with it.
Look at him.
Erasure of slavery.
Listen, fam. Listen, y'all. Look, I've never been the type of dude that advocate for because I didn't understand it, and so listen. I apologize to every last one of these dudes that I've ever.
Again, look at the disrespect. He can't even say what he want to say without them all chiming in, talking over him, being disrespectful. Again, on his panel.
Go.
Never said that you don't necessarily need a passport.
Go get him.
I apologize to y'all.
It doesn't.
And since in his last video, he let us know what we should do, in this video, he's going to say why he said what he said. He's going to be confronting the ladies on his panel and giving honest commentary on why men in the United States, no matter what race, color, or creed, should be getting your passports. Now, we're not saying that all men are going to get their passports because we know statistically 85% of Americans don't even move out of their own cities in the United States. Yes, 85% of you will die in the same city in which you were born in. But we are talking to those men that are highly interested in relocating to other countries, establishing new cultures and new lives, and in some cases with new wives. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that he is not discussing or saying his commentary to all women, because we know no matter what race, color, or creed, that there are some really amazing women that are doing some amazing things in the United States. So for us to assume with extremes does not make any sense, such as some people have done in the comment section of the last video. So before we get started, my name is Andre of Love Crossing Borders Travel Unravel Edition. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for clicking that notification bell and clicking that like button. We like you. Make sure you like us too. Now let's lay a foundation for the person in whom we're speaking about. We're talking about Anton Daniels, multimillionaire. He's been married to his American black wife for over 20 years. They have a daughter and a stable family. What he does on his other YouTube channel, he assists other individuals by mentoring them to put themselves in a position of economic freedom. He has been one of the individuals that's been starch against individuals such as ourselves getting passports, building new lives and new communities around the world. But once he was blind, now he sees, just like Paul, the apostle in the Bible, who once attacked the Christians and ended up being one of the #1 advocate of the Christian church. So it is with Anton. He is finally seeing the light of what we've been discussing by taking a look at the product selection that most of us men in the United States were stuck with prior to using our passports. But let's not hold up. I want to get into this video. And remember, as I said before, he's not talking about all women, of course, but he is talking about a select group of women.
I'm a black woman in America. We've all experienced it. Just because you may not have experienced to a certain degree doesn't mean that the white people that you think you're sitting at the table with ain't calling your ass a nigga when you walk away, or knowing that you're only dealing with you because of what you have to bring to the table as a nigga and willing to extract every type of idea that you have.
Why every time these women get on these panels, they have to throw that N-word? Always. That type of nigga. Nigga. That's all you hear. But then they wonder why they don't have a man. Masculine, aggressive, foul language. You know, I mean, I understand if you want to get your point across, but you can get your point across without being all masculine and aggressive, right? But this is what they do.
leave your ass out the door because they have the economic power to do so. All I'm saying is that just because it's not happening to you personally, if you are for the people and for the progress of Black people, then you will be aware and be concerned with the fact that racism is affecting your people as a collective at a very high fucking rate.
The way that the world is set up right now, for many who are African Americans, we have the best opportunities of all Black cultures in the world as a collective. In other words, even though systemic racism does exist, we still have the opportunity to progress in spite of.
Exactly. So a lot of times people fail to accomplish things, and the first thing they want to do is blame it on racism. No, we got too many opportunities here. You know, if you don't make it, that's on you. They ain't got shit to do with racism. Like Andre said, there is systemic racism, yes, but a lot of the shit that you go through and you fail to do ain't got shit to do with racism. A lot of it's on you. But the first thing Black people want to do is holler racism. Racism.
Now let's see what
white supremacy
Anton has to say, and he's going to explain to us why he has decided to support the Passport Bro movement with this statement.
Let me just say this last thing.
I'm just saying.
You know the funniest part about this whole thing is the only person that's ever called me a nigga to my face is a Black woman.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. I know.
Cause y'all do it on these panels. She just did it on this panel. Nigga, you niggas. Hear it all the time.
No, it's a fact.
Like you said, it's a fact.
Hold on, wait.
Like you said, then white people you be at the table with didn't call you one when they left the table and got your money.
That was my exact example. I said they're not gonna call you that.
How do you not know that they don't disrespect you because your skin color and they only respecting you because you got the money?
They will.
So you have been racist to us.
Give me a second. We're gonna mute these.
They were hiding their face.
We're gonna mute these hyenas for 5 seconds so we.
You had to mute them. You had to mute them. And then sometimes you got to do it. You got to shut them up because they're going to keep talking. They're not going to respect you enough to let you get your point across. They got to have the first, last, and everything in between.
Before he goes any further, a lot of you guys wonder why over the last year or two, the term hyena is applied to a lot of women in the United States. Well, nobody can explain it better than our fellow YouTuber friend, Chantel Simone.
Y'all see the correlation in the Black community? The moms and the babies make up the top of the clan's hierarchy. Here's what they want from the community. And she said, what did she say? She cares about the woman and the children.
So cubs have decent access to food, sleeping spots, and everything else.
Now, cubs have access to decent access to food, sleeping spots, and everything else. Y'all know the government assistance program WIC. What WIC stand for? Woman, infant, child. I see similarities. Let us continue.
But male cubs' glory days are short. Females generally don't like mating with males from the clan they grew up in. It's probably nature's way of avoiding inbreeding.
Females don't like mating with the male in the clan they were born in, right? Same like how Black women will get on social media and praise the Brad. They can take bottom shelf Brad meaning non-Black men, even though he a dusty, as long as he white, they know how to suppress their ghetto-ness around him. But let us continue. Let's continue.
2 or so, they leave their clan and strike out on a lonely, dangerous search for a clan with better mating prospects. Lots of other mammalian males do the same thing. But for them, the transition to a new group is an opportunity to challenge high-ranking individuals and increase their social standing. Not so for male hyenas. They endure aggressive hazing by the new clan before even being allowed to join. And once a male does gain acceptance, he becomes the very lowest ranking hyena in the pecking, or bone cracking order.
The stepdaddies have to go out and prove themselves worthy to be a part of the family, even though the kids aren't his. And even when he provide a roof over the woman's head and provide a roof over somebody else's seed head and is protecting and providing, he still don't have enough say in the household. It's still woman first.
Yep, that's that save your community black man. What do the black man get for us coming back and trying to save the community? He gets put at the bottom of the pecking order.
Tastiest food rarely makes its way down to him, and there's no way to move up the social hierarchy besides simply waiting, either for new males to join the clan below him or for males ahead of him to die. No adult male will ever top a single female.
No adult male will ever top a single female, resulting in female dominance. Because no matter how hard you work, black men, and no matter how successful you are, you will never top a female. Even then, in your own space, the manosphere that was created for men, women are going to come in and tell you how to run your space.
That part right there, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing on these panels. On this panel with Lapeef, with Anton, even on the Lapeef network, even on Cruise Season, right? They do the same thing on This Might Be Risky. Shout out to DJ Hemp. Like I said, DJ Hemp ain't got nothing against him, but the women that's on his crew, the women that be on his panel, man, it's like you come over there as a man doing the woman's POV, and it's like open season.
That was created for men. Let us continue.
In a female-dominated hierarchy. This is all weird. Unlike most mammals, male hyenas are subordinate to females, which is probably because, unlike most mammals, female hyenas are bigger and meaner than males.
Where else do y'all see, shout out to Kevin Samuels, where else do y'all see the woman bigger than the men? 55% of our women are obese. Over 80% are overweight.
Yep.
The black woman weigh more, the average black woman weigh more than the average black man. Same like in the hyena clan. The women are bigger and meaner than the males. Let's talk about the meaner part now. How many black women are so aggressive, especially in customer service, especially in HR? Black women tend to have this no nonsense attitude because all their life they had to fight, and no one is going to get one over on them.
All my life I had to fight.
Now that you guys understand what the definition of the word hyena is, let's continue to listen to Anton as he explains why he supports the Passport Bro movement in such a way. And he's going to explain it by showcasing the behavior pattern of not only women on this panel, but women in the United States in general.
You can get 5 seconds of a thought.
You see how on his own show,
Damn.
The one young lady just gave him the finger. I'm talking to men today. I'm talking to all you simps.
Look at this shit. Look at this disrespect. Blatant disrespect. Now, if he was to drop her from the panel, she would advocate that he did something wrong to her. She would act like she's the victim, right? If he was to drop her from the panel, she would swear up and down, Anton ain't S-H-I-T. He dropped me from the panel for no reason. La da 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 da, yada da da da, this, that, and the third, right? But look at the blatant disrespect. All because he said he's in support of the Passport Bro movement. You see? And what Chantel just got through talking about. Mean, aggressive, masculine behavior. No respect. No respect at all. They will come into your home, i.e. your panel, and tell you how to run it, tell you what to do, get mad because they don't agree with you. Be disrespectful. Shoot you the bird. And and this is like being on, I ain't gonna say national TV, but Anton gets plenty of views. You don't know who's gonna see this, right? But as black women, they don't care. It's like out in the streets twerking, at the Grammys or at the BET Awards twerking. Out in London, I'm gonna get my coochie scratched. You know what I'm saying? It's like black women don't care. They don't care. They don't care how they are represented. They don't care how they look. Image is everything. They don't care about the image, but then yet they try to get mad when what's that game, GTA, Grand Theft Auto had women on there twerking. But y'all mad. Y'all get mad at that. If y'all gonna get mad at that, quit doing stuff like this. Quit showing your ass where everybody can see you, right? Quit being out in public twerking, talking about you like getting it, you know, sucked from the back and licking from the back and all that, right? But then when Grand Theft Auto come out with a video game and got black women out there twerking with different color hair and BBLs, y'all mad. And how can you be mad at how people see you when you showing them what you are?
And all you supporters of this behavior, you expect real men who have accomplished goals to sit up there, stay in the United States and tolerate this behavior? Is this what you're expecting of us? Because this behavior with this woman down here, by giving this man the finger, which she would not do it. She wants to talk about racism, but she would not do that if she was on a white panel in front of Zaddy. And now look, there's a black woman is the only person that's giving him the finger on his own platform.
The only person that's ever called me a nigga to my face is a black woman. That's number one. Number two, the only person that's ever discriminated against me are black people. Number three, the only people that has ever carjacked me, tried to take my life and do anything negative against me are black people. That's a fact though, right? So the interesting thing about it is that I find it ironic.
Absolve what white people have to do.
I find it ironic that we can't even clean up our own culture, yet we want to hold other people accountable for things that we're not even experiencing. Y'all are so corny to me. And the reason that y'all corny is that y'all sit here and stand on the shoulders of giants, people that actually experience some level of discrimination, people that was actually discriminated against, people that was actually going through it, freedom riders, people that were actually trying to advocate for y'all to vote. And what I also see happening is people running in the Victim Olympics that have all the opportunity in the world, yet immigrants come over here, black immigrants come over here in this country and they mop the floor with y'all.
Now, I want to pause a little bit in regards to that, because I can hear the churning of a lot of you guys' minds. He's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We can overcome. Someday, black people, see, while you're still talking about someday, a lot of us are getting our passports and creating 2 days. Yeah, that's my...
Yeah, they're still stuck on that kumbaya, we shall overcome mess. You know, thinking they just sit around and hope, believe, and pray, and all of a sudden things go start looking up. No, you got to get out there and get it. It was like Dre said, you got to get out there and get it on your own, man. It's like you can't sit around, you know, one day waiting for something to come and just, you know, fall in your lap, right? And a lot of us have been programmed, you know, to that, you know, just keep hope alive. You know what I'm saying? Just keep praying, keep wishing, keep your head up. You know, it's gonna happen. No, you got to get it. You got to go out and get it. You know, and if you don't, you can't blame nobody but yourself. You can't blame the system. You can't say it's racism. You can't say it's white supremacy. None of that. Is you failing to do what you need to do as a person, as a human. You know, we've been afforded a lot in this country. Now, it ain't perfect. I ain't saying that it is, but it's on you to make that change. You got to do what you got to do. You can't sit back and cry and complain because things ain't going your way when you ain't even trying to make it happen.
My job. Every day when I wake up, I create 2 days while you're still in the United States crying about someday. And that's what Anton is talking about. For those of us that want to be progressive, that want to be the men that will establish new futures and new developments for not only for our cultures, but also for the countries in which we're going into, we're going to have to come to a conclusion that we can't rescue every person in the United States. If you move into another country, you can't be a part of the Kumbaya committee. Yes, you're still a person of color. Yes, you're African American, but yet you are an individual. Then your job is to create your todays by being an example every day.
The reality is that women are always going to complain no matter what.
And he has a platform.
That's corny.
Now, this is what he means about men he's come to the conclusion, get your passports, because he's 100% correct. If you guys have children, I've talked to you guys who have children, women are going to complain that you aren't doing enough and not giving enough. If you don't have a child, such as I don't, and out of the 200 consultations I've done over the last year, only 7 of you guys were fathers. The rest of you women in the United States call you weirdos for not having children and being responsible. Every time I'm on Facebook and I see you guys cuddled up with these women right here, these type.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Y'all women are ass backwards, you know. I've seen and heard women say that if a guy is over a certain age and if he don't have any kids, he's a weirdo or he's a lame. If a guy's in his 30s, 40s, even 50s and don't have a child, that don't make him something wrong with him. That just means this guy is on his purpose. He's not out here spreading his seed all loose. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out here, you know, just going up in y'all women raw, because a lot of y'all women don't like using condoms. You know what I mean? Y'all, for some reason, there's a lot of black women out here who don't like using condoms. And I don't, for some reason, call me old fashioned or whatever, but I can't do it. If me and you just met or we've been dating, it's been, you know, a month or so or whatever, and we're having sex, I'm using condoms. I don't get why y'all women think that it's a problem when a man wants to use protection. You know what I mean? So when you got a guy that's in his 30s, 40s, and 50s and don't have any kids, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just being smart. First of all, he ain't found the woman that he's willing to marry yet. And secondly, he ain't trying to be out here having kids all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out here loose like a lot of y'all women. You know? But for some reason, y'all think that it's a problem when a man is at a certain age and don't have kids. That's the most backward ass thinking I've ever heard in my life.
Go ahead, guys. Take a good look. Like they say in the South, take a gander. Because if you don't want to take advantage of your passports, and if you think that we're liars, prove us wrong.
Usually what happens is this is my final point. The poorest people are usually the ones that's always complaining about what somebody else ain't doing for them. They never actually went through anything. They're not honoring their ancestors by doing the things that's best for them. They usually are the worst people for their communities. And the biggest way for you to come up on the black community is to race hustle. So when you then go in and say, well, white people is against us, they're not actually helping you. They're enabling you to continue to be a piece of shit, to be at the bottom of the barrel, not to actually help and be productive members of society. And then they take y'all money and they say that they're building a school for the next 15 years that they're not actually building. And so it's unfortunate that y'all continue to fall for this trap. You literally in 2024 and you still talking about race relations and bullshit like that, when everything that you've ever had has enabled you to be the worst version of yourself. And the minute that you take ownership and responsibility of that, you ruined your homes, you let white women come in, and the only way that y'all got finesse from a race perspective is they leveraged y'all for feminism when that wasn't even black women fighting in the first place. And then y'all wanted to complain about what it is that you don't have when you have every single opportunity against you. And the only people that's racist is you against your own people, more importantly against the men that you open up your legs to. And
Facts all day long. Black women talking about black men, black women talking about black women, all this colorism, right? If it's a light-skinned black woman and a dark-skinned black woman, they got a problem with each other, right? Just like in school days. You know, ain't that shit still going on. You black. No matter if you're light-skinned or dark-skinned. But y'all black women have a problem with that. If she ain't dark enough, if she light-skinned and her eyes look a different color, her hair too straight, then she's not FBA or whatever y'all want to call it. I mean, man, you can't make this shit up. Keep moving.
Have children with, and then complain about whether or not they supposed to take care of y'all afterwards. Y'all are the worst people for the community. Everything that you stand for, what your lives represent, and you are actually a disgrace to the people that actually came before you, that advocated for you to be free in the first place. If you want to honor your ancestors,
you sound like a white supremacist.
You want to honor your ancestors.
There we go. You sound like a white supremacist. These women don't take none of this shit seriously. They don't. They on there for shits and giggles. As you can tell, straight disrespect, jumping off the mic whenever possible, you know, and then want to crack jokes. It's I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't be, how can I say this? I find that a lot of black women, especially on these panels, not all, but a lot, if you try to talk and be an intellectual with these women, that's boring. They don't want to hear anything that has to do with stats, data, or anything like that. To them, that's boring. They start doing this shit right here, what they doing on Anton. He starts spitting facts to make them think, and what they do, laugh, giggle. You sound like a white supremacist.
Please,
Flat out. Flat out.
Stop running in the victim Olympics.
That's what you sound like, sir.
Together. Stop having student loan debt so that you then be indebted and asking Biden for forgiveness.
So when somebody speaks facts, they're white supremacists, right? For the simple fact that he's pointing out a fact that's true, that can be looked up and verified, just because it makes you look bad as a black woman, then he's a white supremacist. Got it.
And voting a certain type of way based off of what's promised to you, instead of doing the thing that's in the best interest of your families. When y'all learn to be quiet and then operate based off of what it is that you're supposed to do instead of operating based off of how you feel, you'll start to have better results. In the meantime, what I know y'all gonna do is y'all gonna let this go in one ear and out the other. You're gonna be disrespectful. You're gonna go out there and you're gonna call it.
Oh yeah, it's already going through one ear and out the other. That shit done shot way over their head. And everything Anton's saying is exactly what they gonna do.
You're gonna call a black man a nigga, and then you're gonna sit here and complain about what white people ain't giving you, and you're gonna continue to be a nuisance to your race. Y'all are actually the worst thing for black community. Instead of holding each other accountable, you're not doing the thing that's in your own best interest. That's the reality. The reality is that the best way for you to serve your community is stop to make excuses about why you can't do something so that somebody can actually use you for something. In the meantime, the only thing that they're using y'all for is what's in between y'all legs, and that ain't even worth nothing no more.
I'm trying to check my lie detector. Give me a second, because I'm not detecting any lies here in this commentary. He didn't say one false statement. Some of you may be sensitive to what he said. Some of you may not even like what he said. And I'm gonna tell you why you don't like what he said. You want the truth? Because it reflects on some of our mothers, our aunts, our sisters, our cousins. Some of us do have these excessive baby mamas in our families.
Yep.
Some of us do have modern women, no matter what race, color, or creed, in our families that try to hold back men from progressing. We do have women in our families that are revengeful with their children by holding the child back from their fathers, so the child does not get developed the way that the child should. Everything that he said was 100% correct. But just like he said about the women, I believe that there are a lot of us men that are like this as well. It'll go in one ear and out the other. You'll run into the comment section, you complain, trying to defend your black queens, and yet only less than 5% of us will take a passport, go to another country, and see the difference in the behavior pattern of those women compared to the embarrassing behavior pattern of the women on this panel and beyond. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a sensitive topic to a lot of individuals, and yet it had to be said. Now we understand why Anton Daniels is standing firm on his beliefs that men should start getting their passports and exploring other options in other countries.
Yo, I mean, everything is true, man. It's true. These women can't take the truth, man. Soon as Anton started hitting them with the truth, what they do? Laughing. You sound like a white supremacist. You sound, you know, it's blaming it on racism, white supremacy. You know, it's like Dre said, man. Dre said it, you know, perfectly. A lot of men and women get triggered because what Anton said reflects their situation. They grew up in households where they saw mama or big mama, you know, being masculine, being overbearing, being over dominating, you know, aunties, cousins, you know, with no man, 3 or 4 kids, You know what I'm saying? About 3 or 4 different dudes. You know, even their own mama, even in their own families, right? You might, a lot of men, a lot of women come from families where it might be 4 or 5 of y'all. All y'all got different daddies, right? 2 of y'all might be light skinned and 3 of y'all dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? No good and well, y'all ain't got the same daddy. You know? And a lot of y'all get triggered when y'all hear that because that's your situation. You might have sisters or aunts like that. You know, got 4 or 5 kids by 3 different dudes. You know what I'm saying? Kids all got the mama's maiden name, but they got 3 different daddies. You know, or one might have one of the daddy's last name, but the other 3 or 4 might not. You know, it could be a combination of all that, right? But they get triggered when they hear it because they know that they came from that situation. The reason they don't want to hold these women accountable because it's like holding their mothers accountable. It's like holding their aunties and their big mamas accountable. So when guys get on stage or on these platforms, or on these VODs and start talking about these women's bad behavior, these other guys hop into the comments, you bashing black women. How can you say that about black women? Why y'all always talking bad about black women? But nobody ever says we're lying. Nobody ever says we're not telling the truth, right? All we hear, only thing that's being said is you're bashing black women. Why are you talking bad about black women? Why don't y'all just leave black women alone? So no correction. Don't say that we're right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that we're wrong. You know, none of that. But just leave them alone. Let them do what they do. If we leave them alone and don't say anything, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Right? It's not going to get any better. But because, you know, you might feel a lot better because you're saying, well, at least they're not talking about them no more. You know, now I ain't got to think about how my mom was or how my auntie or my grandmama was, you know, with all these kids and, you know, all of us got different fathers. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys don't want to realize, a lot of you women don't want to realize. And it's like my man TJ from the Real Bravado Network said, your mama's a hoe. Your mama is a hoe. She's a whole hoe. Shout out to the Real Bravado Network, but he's right. Yeah, a lot of our mamas are hoes. A lot of our grandmamas are hoes. A lot of our aunties hoes, cousins hoes, sisters hoes. They're all hoes, huh? They're all whores. Shout out to Obsidian. Obsidian said he was talking to his nephew, you know, some years back, and he was just going through his phone. They're all whores, huh? They're all whores. Whore. I mean, he's not lying. A lot of us don't want to admit that we grew up with women in our families that are whores, straight up. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of these guys and girls on these panels get triggered, because they don't want to admit that they have whores in their family. That's why they always say, don't talk about black women. How you talk about, you got a black mom, your mama black. All the shame, all the insult, guilt need to be right. Just so you won't point out the fact that that's their situation. Right? But hey, hope you guys enjoyed this live, man. Like I said, I don't go live often. I just really started. You know, I think on my channel I got like 4 or 5 lives, so I really don't do a lot. This is the end of the year, so I figure I'd throw this one out there. I'm going to try to do more lives in 2024. So you guys, if you like this, drop some comments down below. If you don't, drop some comments down below. I really don't care. Just, you know, say something. Let me know what you think. You guys, your boy Jay LaRone, please like, subscribe, share. Please be good to yourself. By all means, let's be good to one another. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?